Hey guys, I'm Tim.
And I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
And Dan.
This is the Board Game Rundown, and today we're going to review Catnip Auction House from 10 Robot Games. This plays 3 to 10 players. It says ages 14 and up, but you could play this with younger kids for sure. Very easily. In Catnip Auction House, you are playing as one of these amazing-looking kitty cats. You could be Claudia, Chuckles, Cotton Candy, Mew Baka, Miss Burlington, Mr.
Fluffy Pants.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're all very cute. Great names on all of them, and they even in their in the little player screen they've got a little bio.
Yeah.
So it also tells you what their preferred item is as well. But anyways, wonderful presentation there. So all these cats show up at this auction house and they're bidding on these fancy items. Every game, you're only going to be bidding on 10 and you will seed the deck with your preferred items. So if you win that item, you get a couple extra mice at the end. And bidding is really straightforward. Everybody starts with 8 catnip, these little nice little green cubes hidden behind their screen, and you put one in the bowl to stay in the bid. If you don't want to bid anymore, you can decide I'm out. You flip your pause token over and you dump that catnip behind your screen. Next person gets to go. If there's 3 of you left and you go out, the person who goes out gets 1 mouse. That's a victory point. The second to last player to go out gets the bottom score, and then the final player that actually wins the auction gets the top score. You get those mice right away. Mm-hmm. These cards could have a one-time use ability. It could have an ongoing ability, or a persistent effect. Those abilities are all resolved at the beginning of each round, starting in turn order with the auctioneer.
To the left of it, or right.
Yeah, depending on, because it will switch.
It changes directions, which is nice.
Clockwise and counterclockwise. Yeah. Anything else? It's pretty straightforward.
That's the basic gist.
That's the basic gist of the game. Catnip Auction House. We played this at Origins. Yeah, I was like, what convention was that? Yeah, at Origins. Learned it with Reed Mascola, the designer.
And they released it at Origins, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah.
They did. And you can get it on their website if you decide you like it after this is all done. Let's get into everybody's thoughts on the game. Bobby.
That's me.
That's you. What do you think?
I thought it was pretty fun. I like cats. I'm a big fan of cats. I love clever little nicknames like Mr. Fluffy Pants or Mew Baka, Jasper. Come on, it's funny. The hidden behind the screen, you keep all of your points and how much catnip you have hidden, so nobody knows how much you can keep going. Because I didn't realize that Dan was out, and so Spencer added a cube, and Dan didn't have any cubes left, so he had to take just the one. That was a little unfortunate. But no, it was very interesting. I think that it's it's kind of like a pressure luck. It's like, well, I don't really want this, but I'm going to keep throwing cubes in there, and hopefully it'll come back around and I can get some more cubes back for me. That was a good time. So I think it's a nice, light little bidding game that you can play with just about anybody.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, right? Spencer, what do you think?
I really like the pressure luck aspect. I like the fact that the economy doesn't grow. Right. There's always
so
this many but okay, you use her up, you're going to get more. They're going to come back. And so it's this nice ebb and flow of the game. You want to save up to get the preferred one because you get 2 extra points, but you might not get it. They're also worth points. So it might come by your preferred one, but you're like, well, there's 3 points in here. I'm just going to take the 3 points.
Because you can convert 4 catnip for a point at the end of the game.
Yeah, and the theme's cute. Yeah.
Dan. Dan loves cats.
He loves cats. He's even allergic to the game.
Cats suck. Getting the hate comments. But also, I don't like bidding games, right? So when we had a chance to play this at Origins, I was pleasantly surprised. And I talked to the publishing, the guy there that was there representing the publishing company. Right. I just didn't know how big the team was. But and stuff, and I talked to them about it because it's interesting because I don't like bidding games, but I really liked what they did to this. Because, just total transparency, if this had worked like any other bidding games with the way the basic bidding idea works, I probably just wouldn't even sit in on this review. I just don't like them enough to think that my opinion is worth it. But I genuinely love the idea that when it comes around to you, all you have to do, it doesn't matter if I have $8 million or $2, in order to stay in the auction, I just have to put one more in. I'm just risking one more. And then it goes around. It comes back to me. I just have to risk one more.
That really like
know,
entices you to kind of stay
Yeah,
in because
yeah.
it's so easy. To
And
stay
sometimes you're not trying to win the thing; you're trying to win these, hoping it's going to come back one more round.
Right, if I put one more in, and so do they, I just
four more.
gained, Yeah,
Three.
four
Wait,
on top
you
of the
gained
one
three,
that I put
yeah.
in. Yeah, so I gained 3 and stuff. And then doing that over and over again, like, this really brings the game up for me. Now, that's still not a 10 out of 10 game for me. I just don't tend to love these kind of games.
But it makes the game that you don't like normally
Exactly.
a little more appealing to you.
I was very, very pleasantly surprised when I had that, and like afterwards I was just like, ooh, like I actually played it twice in a row. I really liked that aspect of it. But yeah, you have this kind of like, I don't know if set collection is the way to do it, but right? This like tableau build thing where you're collecting these cards, then you're activating them between turns to do certain things. Some of them just have passives, some of them have permanents, some of them have one-time abilities and stuff. And you're just trying to get it right. And your preferred item is an interesting push and pull where it's like, man, I really want that preferred item, but also if I put in too much catnip, I've negated the points that I would have gotten for getting it. So, is it worth it that much? So like, playing around the table is interesting. If this game was any longer than it already was, then I'd have some problems with the way the economy can kind of get stuck on some players, or some players can just kind of be like, hey, you're just not going to play for the next 3 rounds because of how this happened. But the game's so short that doesn't really matter. Like, if that really bugs you, it can happen. Like, just be aware it's possible to happen. But it's not super common, and it's also a very short game. So you don't have to worry about that too much. But yeah, I went into a game that I thought I wouldn't care at all about. And I walked away saying, while I don't know if I'd say I love it, I'm like, hey, good job making a bidding game that I enjoyed and that I can see people who don't like bidding games enjoying. It's a nice way to kind of be like, yeah, we can't play Raccoon Tiger. That's not bidding. That's
Ready,
stock
Set, Bet or
market.
something
Ready,
like
set,
that,
bet.
yeah.
Sure. Well, we can't play this bigger version of this or whatever. But hey, try this. This is very simple and stuff, right? And it's like, yeah, okay, and it can scratch that itch for people who do like bidding games. It's not like you're bored. You're like, yeah, no, this is bidding. I like it. So yeah, that's kind of what I think. I just think good job from the designing and the publishing people for making one that appeals to more people, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I really like Catnip Auction House. I thought it was a lot of fun. I was in on the theme, like Bob. I love cats. I've got cats at home. And
Suck.
yeah,
I'm just kidding. Don't
cats
hit
are,
me.
I will say though, one of my cats, total asshole. So I get it. But I still love them anyways. But anyways, yeah. I mean, everything Dan said though, right? Like that one cube, and it gets really tough because it's like, well, there's 3 cubes in here right now. There's only 2. There's 3 cubes in here right now, but like maybe if it goes all the way around one more time. Well, now there's 6 cubes if it gets back to me. But Spencer, unless he really wants that item, he's probably picking up those. You know what I mean? Because once it gets to like 5 or 6, somebody gonna pick it up.
Yeah, but,
Or you're looking at the person like, how many does he have left?
Yeah.
How
also
hard to
true.
push?
Also true. And we played a couple rounds of this at like 6 players yesterday. Feels like it goes just as fast because again, it's just that one bid. If you're out or if you run out of catnip and you're kind of stuck for a round, which totally happens, I mean, like Dan said, be aware that can happen. It's not the best thing. I don't see an obvious fix for it other than that the game is short. The rounds go by pretty quick and you'll be back in it before you know it, or the game's over, one way or the other.
one way or the other.
It moves along really well at a good clip. So I enjoyed the art. I enjoyed the presentation of it, and the gameplay is really fun. So
We did find a small typo, which probably maybe point out here so that it doesn't confuse other people. But in the book, it talks about if you're in the bidding, you're active, you're on the yellow side. It says claws out, which is claws out, but then it says claws in when you pass, but the claws are still out.
yeah,
So
there's a
you
misprint.
just
on
pick
there.
one side
Yeah.
to be in, one side to be out, and you're fine.
As everybody's
long as everybody's
consistent,
playing,
you're
as long as
good.
we play the same rules, and you're fine. Yep.
Yep. They were very disappointed when they saw it at the con.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, sorry to have a bad experience on our booth. Well, show you something wrong about your game.
Yeah.
But no, let's give this a rating, guys. Dan,
Me.
what do we do when we rate games? How do we do that?
What do we do with a rating scale?
Drunken kitty.
We're going to rate it 0 to 10, and then we're going to average it all together at the end, so there's just one score to put on the Board Game Geek and stuff, because basically we're all going to have opinionated scores, and then there's going to be one average score for Board Game Rundown.
Yeah. Yeah. What he said. Bobby,
Yeah.
what's your score, bud?
Something I did forget to mention. Cool thing is the rotation does
Oh,
change.
yeah, that
Every
was
time
nice.
you win a bid, it changes the direction that it goes, and that's something to help keep it fresh. You're not the person to your right's not constantly taking the stuff that you want.
Mhm.
So very, very good twist. With that being said, I'm gonna say it's a 7.5 for me. I enjoy it. I wouldn't mind having a copy in my collection. I'm not over the moon with auction and bidding games the way Mike is, but I did have a good time playing, so I'm gonna say 7.5.
Spencer.
I'm going to give this one an 8.
Oh, wow. That's so fast.
Well, it's a number.
You're right, Spencer.
You
number.
know what you're getting with Dan with a game like this. I don't love it, but I was impressed by it. I liked it. It's fun. I'm gonna fall on a 6.5.
Yeah, for me, I think it's an 8. It would be like a 7.5, but this kind of game, like my family will ask me to bring this around. Again, low barrier to
Yeah,
entry.
kids can play this. It'd be great.
Kids can play it. Super fun. You can even do it without the extra abilities on the cards. You can just do it for the points.
Right.
And, and everybody can have a great time. You can scale it down very easily to play with families. So what do we got, Bobby?
Beep, boop, 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 boop. That's a 7.5.
Pretty
good.
That's a pretty good score.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed this
right.
quite a bit. Think it's good. I'm really glad we got to see it.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, we are friends with the designer, Reed. We
Yeah.
spent some time with him at
Yeah.
Origins. We've
Nice
had him
guy.
on the show before. We want him to do well, but again, we want to be honest. We wouldn't do him justice if we were not honest with how we feel about the game.
Right. And like Dan says, like if there's a game we really just don't care for, we just tend to sit out. That's why we have 6 of us that rotate in and out.
Right. Unless it's like a huge company, then who cares? We're not going to hurt them.
Right, exactly, yeah.
But if you found this video useful, please consider subscribing. Give us a like. Comment on the video with your pet's name. It can be a cat or a hamster.
Yeah.
I don't care. Whatever you want.
And what's their preferred item?
Yeah, what's their preferred item? Thor's would be anything he can knock off a counter at 2 a.m.
Okay.
Preferably like a half full glass of liquid that one of my kids left on the counter.
Tears would be my face.
Yeah.
Your
She just
face?
sleeps on my face.
Yeah, no, cats are great.
Oh, no, it's really cute. She's purring the whole time.
Hey, I'm allergic. That's why I keep saying that.
And he's
Yeah.
a monster.
Yeah.
But he's also allergic.
I'm a monster.
Yeah.
But yes, and we do have a Patreon. So if you want to support the show in other ways, that's a great way to help us grow the show as well. But if you can't, the interaction with the channel is huge for us, and we really appreciate that.
Yep.
Anything else, guys?
Negatory.
Before we go. All right. For the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
Mr. Fluffy Pants.
Bandit.
Dan.
I win. See you next time.